Most of us begin and end our day staring into this, the bathroom sink. No matter how many sprays, gels, pastes and creams you use, or how many times you clunk it with the blow dryer, a sink like this stays shiny and sleek. So how do they get all that toughness into a sink? It all starts with mixing together 4 rock-hard ingredients to make a runny mix of clay and water called slip that gets cast into a sink. Nearly 2 tons of clay go into each batch. It's a binding agent that holds the mix together and helps the sink hold its form. The next ingredient is kaolin, a soft white clay that's the main ingredient in porcelain, and it gives the sink its incredible hardness. At the mixer, the last 2 ingredients are poured in. Feldspar, which protects the sink from wear and tear, and quartz for even more durability. 5,000 litres of water pump into the mix to turn the dry powders into a liquid slip. Before the sinks are finished, all that water will have to be dried or baked out so the slip can harden into a sink. For now, the water is needed to make sure all 4 ingredients mix together thoroughly and evenly. Without it, an uneven mix could weaken the sink. When it's thoroughly blended, the mixture pours into barrels through vibrating screens to shake out any chunks that could leave you with a lumpy sink. The slip sits for 3 days so the water in the mix can start to evaporate down to a moisture content of about 30%. The perfect paste-like consistency to be moulded into a sink. To turn the paste into a sink, it's pumped into a sink-shaped mould inside a massive injection moulding machine. Once the mould is full, the machine uses nearly 400 kilos of pressure to squeeze yet more water from the paste until the moisture content is down to about 15%. The sink comes out of the mould firm enough to hold its shape, but still soft and pliable like clay. So before it firms up anymore, a worker carves out the drain and a hole that lets extra water escape so the sink won't overflow. A moist sponge smooths out the seams so the finished sink is perfectly smooth. Then the sink goes into a dryer. Here it bakes for a full day at 80 degrees, so more moisture can evaporate. The sink comes out with a moisture content of just 3%, which makes it lighter in weight and in colour. But it's still only as firm as a thick chocolate bar and could easily snap. To give the sink both its sleek beauty and its tough outer shell, it has to be glazed. A worker uses sandpaper to smooth out the surface so the glaze can be applied. A rotating robot loads the sinks into automated spray booths that spray on the glaze. It can be any colour, but white is the most popular colour for bathrooms. The glaze is made of metal oxides, alumina and silica. Once fired, it turns into a hard glass-like shell that's completely waterproof, so the sink will hold its water. But as long as there's any moisture content left in the sink itself, it's still soft enough to break. So when the glaze is on, the sinks head into the kiln. It's here that they become rock hard, along with other bathroom fixtures made in the factory, such as toilets. The intense 650-degree heat inside the kiln toughens the fixtures in 3 ways. First, it bakes out the final 3% of water that's still in the clay mix. Second, it triggers a chemical reaction that fuses together all 4 of the ingredients in the mix into a permanent ceramic bond. And third, it melts the silica glaze into the shiny, smooth surface of a sink. Now that all of the water has been baked out, the sinks emerge from the kiln 8% smaller than when they left the moulds. But what they've lost in size, they've gained in strength and durability, as the sink now has what it takes to stand up to your morning routine.